Yeah, Dan came in and he was like, these women on this podcast.
Part
are so
of
bizarre.
being a good interlocular is being able to.
Wait.
Shut up!
Name
Simon.
two women that you like on stream that have been here for the
Let's
last
go.
month.
Let's go. This is the real incel art.
Yep,
Go ahead,
two.
Dan.
Peach and Jade.
Jade and Peach haven't been on stream in months.
I can't help it. The only people you're bringing on are like insane fucking either Nazis or like cult leaders. That's not my fault.
Oh no.
Destiny doesn't bring it on. Half the time it's you baiting these women to come on. So
That's
you're
true.
the one invited. You
What
could have
do I
invited
don't
people.
know these.
When I went on Fresh's channel one time, everything was about him in the Lambo, him in the Bugatti. That's all they ever fucking talk about.
Yeah.
So it's cute to say, we're about this. What are you always advertising and what are you really being known for? And then what are you constantly projecting out there? So that's what I look at. That's what I look at. Because I feel like that's just something you put in the footnotes to be able to insert. Like,
Yeah, it's
no,
like it's a cult.
I had
It's
a
a cult.
chapter.
Yeah.
I had a chapter on the fact that women are equal to men, but I spent 12 other chapters talking about how women are inferior. It's
Yeah.
like, well, there isn't a balance in your view. You're claiming that to have a rebuttal to the criticism, but it's not actually true.
Yeah.
And that's why I like Sneako, because Sneako be like, no, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
What's up?
Oh,
man?
you didn't work hard enough? That's tough. And that's what it actually is.
How you doing, Dan? What's up?
I just wanted to come in and say hi and see what's up. Am I interrupting a very in-depth conversation? That's kind of what I'm best at. So
No, we're just chilling.
Who's Dan?
I'm his sidekick.
You've never talked. Wait, you guys have never talked before?
I've never spoken to Dan.
Oh, damn.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, nice to meet you, Dan. I'm Abba. We both got 3-letter names, so...
Yeah, well, we're, that's good. That's it. We got that going.
Dan, I heard you said that you didn't believe these women were real until you...
Well, so
it's
I
like
live,
another world.
Yeah, so I live in Miami Beach. So I've seen, I've interacted with a lot of people like this, but I mean, I feel this is so cruel to say, and I think you understand it. They must have really cherry-picked to find these people because some of them were exceptionally stupid.
Exceptional. We'll just say exceptional.
Some of them were exceptional. Okay, like
Like,
I feel
holy
like
fuck.
you would have to search high and low to find this quality. Is what I would say.
And then this is where I think because I've talked with this about Dan before, and I think he says I'm exaggerating, but like I feel like because me and Melina, she goes to South Beach all the time, so when we go out to eat, we usually drive down there for restaurants and stuff. There's a restaurant called Big Pink that we go to all the time down there. But it feels like when I'm looking around and I'm listening to the girls talking and I'm seeing like who's around, like that's like par, like that's basically what you expect to see.
Yeah. I think as far as South Beach goes and all the people who congregate there, that's very common. I would also say these kinds of women dominate Instagram. They dominate social media. Are they uncommon? I think they're much more common among people than you'd imagine. Dan, you sound like you're probably mid-30s.
Yeah, we can say mid-30s. Yeah, that's about accurate.
He's like mid-late 30s, but mid-30s.
Okay, yeah. I was going to give him 37. I just didn't.
Well, that's 1 year. I'm 38.
Okay, all right. I was
Just turned 38. New 38.
I guess that, I'd still consider myself a millennial, but I've heard that some people would say that this is Generation X.
No, you're a millennial. You're not a Gen Xer, Dan. Don't be.
I don't know. There's some people, like about a third of the people who categorize those age ranges would have me at the tail end of Gen X.
Weird. I'm grabbing a Red Bull 1 sec.
1984.
Yeah, I think the way it works is like the people on the trail end kind of overlap a little bit, so it's a little bit iffy for them.
Yeah.
Like when I see people who are like at the trail end or like just on the cusp between Gen Z and my generation, then those people I feel like they're so drastically different they might as well be a different generation. But I said all this to say, go ahead. Sorry, you want to say something?
No, I've listened to a lot of what you say, and I'm a huge, massive believer in everything you've said. So I dropped out of high school and I joined the Coast Guard. And I became very successful in spite of that. And I think something that I appreciate is that my wife, I married her when I was broke, fucking completely broke in the Coast Guard. And we've stayed together almost 20 years. And I know that, now that I'm, very well off and everything else, I know that she's not with me for the money because she was with me when she had nothing and when I had nothing. And that's pretty good. And, and she's a doctor and she does her own things. And I appreciate that. I would never I can't imagine the feeling of being married to someone that is only with you because like you have a fucking pound of gold on your neck. you know, and
Right.
they're just waiting for a piece to fall off. Like, it just seems like such a shit existence to every friend that you have, every relationship you have. They're literally only with you because of what car you drive or what fucking jewelry or clothing you have. Like, how shallow. I'd rather be fucking broke as fuck and know that every friend I had is 100% real. They're with me for my personality or for what I do, than that shit any day of the week. Like, who cares? Honestly.
Right. I think I understand everything that you're saying. I try to always kind of look at it from their perspective. You had the fortunate opportunity to have that experience with someone, right? Because it could have gone south. Maybe she might have left you because you were too broke for too long or whatever. But in your case, you had somebody who was solid and stuck through you. And so you got to see the fruits of that experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now that you have, you're like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. But for everyone who hasn't, they don't understand it. And so you have to understand your relationship with women is fundamentally different than people who all they've known from women is they didn't look at me when I had nothing. They never took an interest in me. I never got laid. Only the jocks did. Now that I'm making a bit of money, I'm being successful. Now they want to come fuck around. But now I'm going to make up for all the times I got rejected because I deserve that. And these women are only around me because I made it. So they have both a negative introduction to their relationship with women from their first experiences, and then also because that resentment exists, once they go through a metamorphosis where they're more established, more endearing to the opposite sex, they hold on to that resentment.
Yeah, I can understand it. I mean, I imagine it's so hard to look at this objectively when you're poor, right? Because your only dream, I think, when you're poor and maybe you're not with women is like, I want to get money. I want to be the most famous person on earth. I want to be a fucking billionaire. Mm-hmm. And I think it's only until you've even gotten remotely some of the way there that you realize how fucking pointless it is to chase money for the, right. You know, just for the purpose of chasing money. Honestly, it's just soulless, stupid, you know, and you get no enjoyment out of it after a while, but I feel like you can't teach that. There's no way that you can, to the people that might watch that podcast, I feel like there's absolutely nothing I could ever say or anyone could say to be like, hey, listen, you don't actually want a Lamborghini. That's like the most shallow, stupidest thing you could do. What you actually want is a rental property in Durrell. Like, you know, that, like, I'm never going to get that across to them ever. Right. It'll never fucking happen.
Exactly. And also their message sounds much more appealing and it's viscerally funner to listen to because I see them with women and I'm like, I want to fuck those women. So let me listen because I'm having a visceral reaction to what I'm seeing on screen. Whereas when you say like, you know, kids and nephews and nieces, like if you don't have children, if you're not around children and don't get that fucking warm fuzzy feeling that like parents do or uncles and aunts do, then you're not going to understand. And also it just doesn't sound as appealing. So I get what you're saying and I don't get mad about. That's why I don't get mad at Sneako for like not understanding it. So when I talked to Sneako and I was like, yo, you know, when I spend time with my niece, it's one of my greatest experiences in life, and he couldn't get it, I understood why it was hard for him to get it. He just kept talking about like, what about your balls, man? Like you're letting your balls go, and what you talking about your niece? You guys talking about your wife, you want to buddy up on the couch and cuddle and shit. I'm like, is that really how you view deepening your bond with your wife or your girlfriend? It's like you guys cuddle and you watch a movie, but that's his idea of what I was saying because he just doesn't get it.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the experience, so like it makes sense, right?
You know, there's some of his earlier videos. He seemed smart and like with it, and he was doing objective stuff that I think a lot of people would not do at the age he was doing it. Like, you know, what fucking 15 or 16-year-olds are like doing political analysis of if Iran should defend itself against an attack from Israel or something like that. Like
shit and gay marriage and everything while playing Call of Duty.
Yeah. I don't think people did that. So honestly, I'm going to say something. You know, I've met Sneako and talked with him. I think he's smart enough to do a really smart grift and get away with it. And I think he might be doing that.
I don't think he's doing it.
I think he could.
I think that
he went so far being original and like not really. I don't want to say not going anywhere, but like he's blown up.
No, I think what has happened is legitimately the whole COVID era has like just destroyed people's minds. I shouldn't say destroyed people's minds, but like it's brought about so much doubt and so much stuff because of honest mistakes made by the government and officials and like all of the people in that arena that are like capitalizing on said mistakes. Like the COVID shit changed a lot of stuff societally, I think, in terms of like trust in the government and like normal messaging and everything.
I suppose it's possible. When I say like I think he's like grifting and doesn't believe it, that's like me being so fucking he probably thinks it's like me being like an asshole. That's actually like the biggest compliment I could give him.
We were hanging out with him personally. I had lunch with him yesterday. Like, he's the same Austrian and Austrian. It's not like when we turn shit off, he's like, yeah, man, like I love women and like that blue pill stuff is so cool and I hate that I have to do that. Like, he seems pretty consistent through and through.
Yeah, but that's really selling it.
That's part of the grift. He's like,
no, unironically,
it's like we're watching The Prestige.
I mean, what would happen if after, like, imagine it with fucking John Zerka, if after stream he was like, come on, guys, I know the world is fucking round. I'm just capping. Like, that would be fucking disastrous I know that John Zerka doesn't fucking think the world is fucking flat. I know that he doesn't.
He might.
I think you underestimate.
You think I underestimate how stupid some of these people are?
Not
either stupid. I don't even think it's stupid. Here's the thing. I can track exactly how Sneako went from point A to point B. I know it because that's why they have a phenomenon called the red pill rage. It's literally something that a lot of dudes go through, where they start to see changes in the world, they start to understand it a little better, and they're angry because, truth be told, a lot of the stuff that we're told is the right way to do stuff.
It's bullshit. Yeah.
Right. So when I hear them talk about this stuff, I can understand why Sneako feels the way that he does. I'm not mad at it. I've even felt some of it in regards to like relationships and dating. So all this to say, I don't think it's a grift. One, because I've seen him before. I've known him before and I've seen him now. And it like the progression makes sense. It's just so unfortunate because I think people like the way he was before so much and they are kind of just coping with the change that they saw. So they want to believe it's all an act, but it's just cope. People really feel the way that he does, and people resonate. And I will say this: I don't think it's because of he sees the success that he's doing all this stuff. I think it's a feedback loop. He starts to change. He notices a giant response from people that's positive. He's getting more money. People are tuning in way more. He's getting way more views. So he's convinced himself in his mind, oh, I must be saying the right things because I'm getting such a good outcome.
It's called audience capture.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there's a name for it because what happens is once you hit into that feedback loop, it's like addicting. You're like, well, yeah, I'm definitely like telling truth. Like people are vibing with what I'm saying. Like, it's making sense. And yeah, you kind of, even without trying to, you're not like consciously thinking, like, I'm just going to say shit to make my audience happy. But that's kind of sort of what almost ends up happening. But
yeah. And it's addictive too. Like when people are messaging you like, yo, you're the truth, man, you preaching, oh man, never stop, and all these people are sending you money. It's like, how would you not start to believe that what you're saying is right?
Especially at fucking 23, 24 years old.
Yeah. I would not have had the mental faculties to be able to resist the temptation of like people's positive affirmation in regards to how it would influence me going forward at that age. There's no way I would have. Yeah. So that's why I'm very sympathetic to like his change in a way. And people can say whatever they want. Like, there's a bunch of people comments be like, well, at 23, I knew better. You think you knew better because you're not online living your entire life better.
Yeah, that's like guys that are like, well, if I was a celebrity, I'd never cheat on my wife. Motherfucker, for you to cheat is like a marathon. You got to do so much work to do it. These guys are getting women thrown at them constantly. You don't know what you would do in that position, right? Much the same that, like, if you had a million people telling you, like, fucking God's gift to man, right? That you're online, everybody's gassing you up on everything you fucking say and believe. Like, yeah, you don't know how that would affect you. That can have insane effects on a person's development. If I would have started streaming at, like, fucking 17, like some of these people do, dude, I would have been a much worse person growing up. Holy fuck, to have all of those insane fucking thoughts reinforced while I'm at, like, the most egotistical stage of my life, it would have been over for me.
Bro, if I would have had all this clout and this fame at the time when I was really out here in these streets, I'd have AIDS.
Sure.
I'd have every STD under the sun. I would have had, that whole Magic Johnson orgy parties? Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you get fame and everything you want so early. You start having orgies and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah. And you know what I mean? You get AIDS because, I mean, you're not going to get all this fame and money so you could have safe sex. Are you crazy? I'm going to get the baddest bitches. I'm going to line them up. I'm going to make them all stand beside the bed because they all want my clout money. And I'm going to get rid of every single fantasy. I'm going to do every hedonistic behavior I could do. And then anything that gets me that behavior, that gets me the AIDS that I wanted so badly, I'm going to do it again.
Do you know much about AIDS today? My completely very unknowledgeable take on this is that I don't want to say it's been mostly solved, but I think that
it's been mostly solved. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's what I thought is that there's essentially
they don't have a cure, but they have such a strong treatment that basically it doesn't even show up in blood tests and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah. But
your life expectancy with HIV is the same as without now. Like, it's insane. Yeah.
The problem with AIDS is really, that's where it's an issue.
Hold on, your mic cuts out sometimes. Yeah, it's really what?
Sorry, The issue with AIDS is more so in poor countries.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, because they don't have access to the same like antiretrovirals or whatever, and they get fucked.
100%, 100%. So like, you go to some places and like AIDS is like fucking up entire communities and spreading because one, they don't practice safe sex oftentimes, and two, they don't have treatment for it. It's too expensive. The government's not going to invest in it. So that's where it's like really sad.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Let me see here. Oh, one thing that I saw that someone said. Remember we were talking earlier about the kind of women that they're attracting because they're living that lifestyle?
Mm-hmm.
And then someone wrote this in the comments. They said, these guys don't care because they're just trying to smash her. Who cares what kind of women they attract? And I don't disagree with that. The problem is when you don't acknowledge the fact that like the way that you're drawing in the women is affecting the kind of selection you have, and you start to complain about experiences or outcomes, then I have an issue. When you talk about, oh, this woman, I try to fuck her and she robbed me. These women are just after your money. It's like, well,
yeah, no
you
shit.
constantly advertise the fact that you had gold chains, all this cash. Likely you're going to attract a woman who's after your money because she knows that you have it. I've never had a woman try to steal from me.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a woman even like gone missing around them. I had to suspect. But you do because of how you attract. I don't have an issue with how people want to attract women or how they want to fuck them. Just be cognizant that that affects you. And then afterwards, don't be out here making prescriptions to people based off of your poor selection biases. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
So that's the main thing. Because even when I hear Sneako talk about it, it's like, I'm so confused sometimes when he talks about women and like what they're like nowadays. Because I'm like, bro, have you seen your girlfriends? Your girlfriends are like nothing like that. So how is it that you're able to select women that are nothing like the women you're constantly decrying? And at the same time, you're saying every woman is like that. It's just crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. I think that pretty much covers all of it. Yeah, that pretty much covers it. Dan, you got anything?
You got anything for us, John?
On what? What do you want to talk about it? I got a lot of stuff to talk about. I'm a talker.
That's not involving like fucking dogs or anything?
Yeah, that's not involve fucking dogs. Yeah,
Okay,
I got a lot of other stuff.
Right. Is that the whole Dogwarts thing I heard about?
Yeah, that is the Dogwarts thing, but we don't have to get into that now. It's fine.
No, it's okay. Last time I heard that on stream, I just...
You what?
You wouldn't understand. It's a white person topic, okay? You just wouldn't get it, okay?
That's a big no thank you for me, my friend.
No, that's all right. Listen, if you don't have enough mental fortitude to be able to like go in and have that type of deep hypothetical thought, I understand it. Some of us are so red-pilled from their childhood and upbringing that they can't even think about something like that without like kind of having to push back like, suck a dick? No, I'm not even talking about that. You're gay. No. I get it. It's cool. It's cool.
This is the kind of conversation that normies would see and be like, this is why I don't spend any time on Twitch. These fucking nerds are...
Yeah.
This is the kind of shit that normies would say and be like, yeah, this is why we should stigmatize nerds.
Yeah, the funniest thing is I was telling Steven the other day, like going to the Fresh and Fit panel and reading the comments in his chat and then like what they say also, and you're like, oh yeah, so real life is not Twitch, actually. People out there still will like call you the F word and say that like, all like it's just like another fucking world that I think a lot of terminally online people actually just don't fucking get. They don't understand. If you step out into the real world and you talk to a real person, he's probably going to say the F word. Like there's a fucking good chance of that if anything comes up. Like it's such a fucking complete, just different world. That's it. I don't know how to say anything else besides that.
Yeah, I think I said something to that effect to Destiny before, and I think he took a little bit of offense to it because he's like, what are you talking about? But sometimes I'll watch the Twitch panels, and some of the stances and like takes that people have, be it on sex or relationships or dating, are so outside of the reality of normal people. And also, it almost sounds like these folks, when they talk so confidently on these Twitch panels about their political takes, that they're so distant from the issues themselves. It's almost like watching like how to explain this? It's almost like watching like rap fans telling people like how inner city issues should be solved. It's like what are you even smoking? And so I watch the panels and I find them humorous at times. What was the panel I saw? Oh yeah, me and Desi had actually spoken about this, but when they're talking about consent That's always my favorite kind of topic to listen to, because I always say that Jesse, but like, I feel like none of these people fuck enough to be able to have this discussion. And so when I speak to people who want to talk about hookup culture, but they've only hooked up with 2 people, I'm like, just shut up. You have no idea what it's like to hook up with, or how to approach them, or how to get their numbers, or do any of this stuff. So why are you making prescriptions on how people should act? You don't know what it's like to be tangibly out there. And so oftentimes when I hear these conversations, like Dogwarts or Kids Work, if they're just done for fun and humor, that's cool. Like, I don't mind. But they sound so bizarre to me. I'm like, yeah, I don't think normal people will ever really identify with this shit.
No, for sure. But that's what makes Twitch exceptional, you know?
Yes, for nerds by nerds.
Yeah. The greatest thinkers, if you will.
Which is unfortunate, because I think there's a lot of normies who would love to see this kind of live stream content, but they would prefer to hear from normies.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Or not even normies, but just like not so terminally fucking nerdy that you just start saying crazy shit like, yo, would you fuck a baby for $1 million?
Okay, listen, you need to chill. Okay, that's going too far.
What do you mean? I had to sit in a live stream and witness y'all have this weird discussion.
You need to chill, okay? You need to chill. You're going too far.
Hey, man, listen. I'm just saying what I witnessed. After that, I don't want any problems, all right? But yeah, if you have something you want to bring up, or
something I want to bring up. I'm
here.
Well, I'm sure there's something interesting we could talk about. You have any hot takes that we could comment on?
Nah, I got nothing, man. Anything I've had a hot take about discussed on YouTube.
You haven't seen anything related to the Cathol stuff, have you? The dog swatting.
Just how about
I saw a TV video that made me laugh, because I'm like, isn't that the they them person who was fighting?
Yeah, I got really big. I got a ton of like national coverage and shit in Canada. It was pretty insane.
Well, what happened? She got swatted?
It's a whole dumb story, but yeah.
Okay.
You do real estate at all?
I just bought my first property.
You want to talk real estate? I'm a huge real estate guy. I love real estate.
Hey, man. I don't know enough about it, but I'm willing to chit-chat about it.
Okay. So what are you looking for in real estate?
Me personally, my first spot that I bought was for my mom. I just wanted to move her close, so I bought a condo nearby. And so she's like 5-minute walk away. And that's like my first property.
So that's not really like, you know, yeah.
I'll say this. I don't think that rental properties are that great of an investment. Honestly, when I did one. But listen, for me, and I'll say why. I spent so much time working, doing stuff for YouTube, that it wouldn't be feasible for me to try to get a tenant, manage that, do the repairs.
You just get, dude, you can get like property managers that do all that, right?
But then by the time I get the property managers, they've taken such a large cut. Like the profit is so minimal. It's like it's not worth all the equity that I had to put in to even purchase the property.
I mean,
so for me,
it's the profit goes down a little bit, but it's worth it. You're building passive income, all right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst. I just feel like for the amount that I would get back with the property manager for like 1 or 2 rental properties, I just don't think it's
that's true. For 1 or 2, it wouldn't be. But once you got 20 rental properties, you'll have the ABBA empire. Okay.
Yeah. See, that sounds like a lot of labor, a lot of work. It couldn't be. But that's the main thing that I've come to accept the last couple weeks. I was thinking of buying another property. I was like, I don't think
trust him.
Wow. So go ahead, Dan. What was your take?
No, I think real estate right now is the fucking best thing that you can possibly do.
Really?
Just unreal. Depending on the area you go into, it's literally free real estate. It's an amazing fucking deal. It's it's just all the benefits are there across the board. You're borrowing money still at a very historically cheap interest rate. You're buying an asset that's going to keep up with inflation. So if inflation continues to go crazy for the next few years, guess what? This is going to keep up with it. You have a chance of actually making money on the bank's money. So if you're borrowing and putting 20% down and you're paying 5%, you can actually make money at 7%. So every 100 grand you borrow, what?
I'm about to spice this whole bitch up. Okay, here's this is how I know I grew up. I don't think I finally made it, and I don't think this society is going to win. I think.
Wait, hold on, you're micing up. You don't think society's gonna what?
I don't think it's gonna last. Now that I've made it, I don't think society's gonna last. I think like the world's a cruel place, and that this shit's gonna end. And
wait, when you say this shit, do you mean like your career personally, or like all of society's gonna collapse?
No. Like for some reason, I made money and I had a doomsday mindset immediately. Okay, this is how like I think it's my poverty brain kicking in. But now when I think about buying a property, you know what I'm thinking about? I don't even think about long-term investment. This is how retarded I am. I start thinking about like I want to get like a big property with like mirrored closets with like a second room behind where I keep guns and like a bunch of supplies for like an apocalyptic society.
I can talk about that too.
Because my mindset, this is real, right?
Mm-hmm.
My mindset is that because this shit's gonna fall off, there's no point in me getting property that's gonna last forever. So I should just invest money into something tangible so that when shit pops off, I'm gonna be better equipped with everyone.
Okay, let me stop you there. You're all over the place. Okay, you're a mess, but I can fix you. Do you want to be fixed?
I want to be ready for the apocalypse sometime.
Okay, how ready are you right now? Because you're talking to someone. I'm ready for the apocalypse. I feel like maybe you're not. You know what being ready for the apocalypse is? Don't let it become a mindset for you. Okay, it needs to be an insurance policy like anything else, but you cannot let it dictate your investment that you do for yourself and how you go forward with life. Okay? What you're doing is you're preparing for the worst, but hoping for the best. And that's all you can do. If we spend all of our time preparing for fucking doomsday situation, we're gonna have a fucking shit life. Okay? We don't want that. So what is the best thing you can do to actually prepare for real end of the world as we know it type shit hit the fan situations? Mm-hmm. What you actually want to do is treat it like insurance. Go spend 5-10 grand, whatever you feel comfortable with, and you can set yourself up so that you will be among the less than 1% of people that survive some sort of crazy fucking shit hits a fan situation when no one else will. Okay? Right. The question is, do you want to spend more money after that to survive and be the 0.1%? Because it's like buying headphones. Okay, when you buy a really nice pair of headphones, you can spend $100 to get a really nice pair. If you want one that's like 2% better than that, you have to go and spend like an extra, you have to double the price. You have to go up to $200 to get 1%. The same thing comes with surviving for some sort of apocalypse like that. You just go out, you need to buy enough food that lasts you a year, get the type of supplies you think you might need, and that's it. Because I'll tell you right now, you're not going to want to fucking live in some fucking Mad Max Fury Road type of situation where it's you and fucking 600 people in the United States, okay? Like, if you're going out and buying a fucking missile silo and hollowing that shit out to live in there, bro, that's going to be a fucking dog shit life for you. Just be like, well...
Oh, no. I want to live through that. I want to live through all of it. Listen. I agree with everything that you just said, but I 100% want to be ready for that kind of apocalypse. So what I'm thinking of is buying myself a tiny property out in the woods that I know I'm going to have like an extra cachet of all the shit I need, right? And then out here in the city, I just live in a poor place, but I got a car ready to fucking jet out this bitch if I need to, and some weapons out here. That's my goal. My goal, crazy as it sounds, and I know it's stupid. This is my poverty brain, okay? So
you're going to say that, but also keep doing it, just to be clear. So you're smart enough to know this is a stupid idea, but are you still going to do it? I expect more from you already, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, you shouldn't expect more from me. I just because I'm aware of my stupidity doesn't mean I can overcome it. It's like just because I know I'm a horn dog doesn't mean I can stop out here being these streets fucking. You know, you can know something and still not be able to stop it. It is what it is. Okay. And so, I've taken some steps to come out of that stupid brain where I bought a property for my mom, like it'll appreciate, blah blah blah. Put like $100K into like investments. Like I did some cool things, but. When you ask me, like, deep down, what do I want to spend my money on? I want to get shotguns, bulletproof vests, gas masks, hazmat suit, fucking whatever I think I would need, a whole, like, supply of, like, perishable goods. Like, that's what I'm thinking about. Jet ass. That's like, in the back of my head, that's what I'm thinking about.
Envy donated $99.99. Thanks, my dude. I appreciate it. Hit that like button, true.
But the cabin with the extra, that's gonna cost me a bit more.
Okay, but just spend the 10 grand now and get like mostly set up. You don't need to go and have everything all at once. You can do all that now. Everything you just said, I have in the room with me right now. Okay, do you understand that?
I get that. My problem, this is my fear. Okay, this is my fear. Once I give in, I can't stop. That's like genuinely what I'm thinking. Like once I buy the first one and I buy all that ammunition, then I'm like, what about my family? I need to get guns for them because I don't want to live without these motherfuckers either. So I'm like, I got the shotties. So I'm thinking about that kind of stuff.
I feel like so this is a hard thing, but you have to take it in and realize that like this thing that you want is not a good investment to make. Okay, this is like someday I want to buy a yacht. Cool.
It is. I think you're wrong. This is why it is a good investment. I think you're wrong.
Wait, hold on. I missed part of this. Why? What's a good investment? What are we on right now?
He wants to be a fucking survival prepper and nothing else. He wants to like buy a cabin and fill it with fucking dry food.
This is why it's a fantastic investment for my peace of mind. You know what I mean?
What the fuck?
Are you
like my mind becomes more calm as I know my shit's all good.
Wait, why not just do like some light prepping then?
That's what I said.
You could like turn it into a hobby. Like be like, oh, like I'm gonna learn how to use a Bunsen burner, hoard MREs or some shit. I don't know. You could like do some fun shit or whatever. But because the type of thing you're talking about, you understand that there is no peace of mind for somebody like that, right? If you're genuinely thinking it's the apocalypse and you spend every waking moment preparing for it, you're not going to find peace of mind at the end of that preparation. You're not going to be like satisfied, like, oh, okay, I think I'm ready to go now. Not to mention the fact that depending on where you live, you might be where the bombs drop first, so you're fucked no matter what, you know?
I mean, there's also, this is the mentality, the psychology of this. I actually talked to my wife about this. It's trying to outrun death, and you can't. No matter what you do, you're going to be dead in like 60 years. You know that. That's it. There's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter how fucking deep a missile silo you get, how much MREs you got, you're fucking cooked in 60 years.
Okay. This is
not
just
even
my
for
general...
for Abba, it's like 50, right?
But you have to understand, you're speaking logically. I'm just texting you about instinct. This is just all instinct, and I'll explain this a little bit. I don't know when my kind of brain kind of started thinking this way, but for example, when I walk into a room, I like peep out all the exits. When I'm
all right, Jason Bourne, settle the fuck down. All right, come on, fuck out of here.
I'm not lying. This is.
I know all the license plates of the cars outside. 1996 Ford Polestar.
No.
Fuck out of here.
That's crazy. That I don't go that far. But for example, even when I sit myself at a table, I always make sure my back's to the wall. There's just little things like that I inherently do that I think, you know what I mean? Like I just think I need to do it. Okay. Even when I'm walking down the street, I'm really paying close attention to how people are walking towards me, just in case. Like that's just the way
you can't do those things and then not even have a month worth of food, of dry food. You can't do that. Okay? Because it just makes it look like you're really bad at this stuff.
Right.
So what are you doing? Do you have 10 grand free? You want me to help you right now? We could do it together. Because I ran one of the largest prepping websites that there is.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, you should. I'm something of a prepping entrepreneur.
So I have started certain things. So okay. I live in Canada, so I've gone through the license for prep buying guns, which has become increasingly difficult. But I'm going through the process. A couple of the people around me, you know, I've talked to them. They've also gone through the process. Some of them have already gotten their guns.
Sure.
I am now going to buy the safe that I need to get certain things ready. So, like, you know, when people are like, "Yo, Abba, you getting a Bugatti?" Or like, I don't even own a car yet, but I'm getting all this other stuff.
Well, I don't know how prudent that. Listen, I can't comment on the wide scope of how completely financially irresponsible this is. But I can guide you on the best path to spend your money irresponsibly in the best way. That's what I can do. So you're like, hey, Dan, I want to be retarded with my money. I'm like, well, that's retarded. You're like, I know. I was like, okay, let me show you the best way to be retarded. That's what I can do right now.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I feel like my retardation probably at a 2 at best. Okay.
No, it's like a 7.5 to an 8.
No, you know why it's not? You know why it's not? Because
it's about the same as like souping up a Honda Civic. To be completely honest. Yeah, a little bit.
I'll tell you why. Because the amount of money that I'm thinking of investing in this kind of stuff is like a fraction of the wealth that I have. Right, and so knowing it's such a small amount, like, you know, at the end of the day, my spending habits are so low.
The fuck? You just told me that you weren't going to buy real estate because you wanted to buy a fucking missile silo. You can't say, I'm only going to spend a small percent. You're saying you want to go fucking all in. Which is it, motherfucker? Don't sneak around with me.
Okay. You're not wrong in regards to like my financial literacy in terms of long-term plans. What I'm trying to say is I'm not in a bad place because thankfully I don't spend my money frivolously, but at the same time I haven't invested in it intelligently. That's what I mean. I have the equity to start making the right decisions. I'm not completely retarded.
Wait, you're such a good wordsmith, but you say things that are so fucking just like, you're like, listen, I may spend my money irresponsibly, but responsibly money is not being spent. I'm like, what? Wait, what did just happen? No, if you spend your money on stupid shit, that is not being financially responsible. It's so good what you just said. I can't even remember how it happened.
Let me explain. You know how people spend their money in retarded ways and then blow all of it? What I'm trying to say is I don't blow all of it.
I'm witnessing one of them right now, but go ahead.
But I'm not burning. I'm not blowing through my money. I got a lot of it, so I'm good. Okay. I don't spend it. I can afford to have one stupid thing I spend my money
on.
No,
you can.
But yeah, exactly. I got one thing. So some people buy a luxury good, right? Like you buy a gold chain.
Yeah.
Stupid, but it's
Stupid.
okay.
It's okay.
Instead of buying that one gold chain,
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for the apocalypse.
Yes, but the problem is you're not just like, yeah, I'm going to spend like 2% on this. And I'd be like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm okay. You spend 10% on fucking bullshit. That's fine. But when I was asking you about like the 90%, I was like, what about real estate? And you're like, oh, no, dude, I'm saving up for a missile silo. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the, wait, hold up. What do you mean? So you can't do both those things. You got to, that 90%, that can't be a missile silo.
Yo. You want to know how fucked up this shit is?
Uh-oh.
You started talking about owning a missile silo, and part of my brain was like, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I bet you have fucking bookmarks on your shit, and you're like, oh yeah, an Atlas 5 missile silo? Fucking A, that's, $45,000, about $110 to retrofit it. Not bad.
No, I'm not even going to front you, bro. I've never looked it up, but because of you, I am. So my retardation levels just increased. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I haven't spent the time enough to like sit on this and do all my research. This was just an instinct I have. But as I'm talking to you and you're expanding my mind, I'm realizing how much more I could do in terms of retarded stuff with this.
I'm trying to take you the other way. I feel like I must be speaking
not
poorly.
working.
Yeah, I understand it's not working. That's not good. Okay, I'm trying to peel you back from insanity, and you're like, yo, a missile silo? Where at? It's in like Arizona typically. You don't want to listen. Just chill, okay? You need to think about this realistically, okay? You're gonna be dead in like some amount of years. No matter, nothing you can do, You just, that's it. So you need to focus on living the best life you can right now and escape the fear of dying. Escape the fear of wanting to do nesting for a man, because that's what this is. This is male nesting, fortifying, preparing for an onslaught attack. That is never going to come. And if it does come, you will be defenseless to stop it. I guarantee you. Okay? No amount of fucking bullshit you can have. What is smart to do, okay, is to know that certain things will continue to happen in our lifetimes. Some of the things that are most likely to continue happening are going to be other COVID-19 type diseases. And they could be more dangerous in the future. So it does make sense for you to be able to have a year's worth of dry food in there, because if shit really does hit the fan, where if you risk going outside and potentially getting some sort of fatal virus, you don't want to go outside at all. So you need to have enough food that you can survive that first 6 months without making contact with people. And then, you know what? You are among the 1% that survived versus anyone else who didn't. That's smart. But when you start to think that you want to go beyond that point, beyond that 6 months, and be like, yeah, surviving for 6 months is good, but what about like 5 years? That's when you start going crazy, because you can't do that forever without sacrificing your life. You can go and you can sacrifice a very small part of your sanity and your bank account and everything else to give you that 6 months to 1 year. That's not hard to do right now where you are. But if you go beyond that, it will consume you. Okay? It's about buying insurance policy, not becoming the insurance policy. And that's what you gotta force yourself to do it. You can't say, oh, it's fun, I like it. Everyone likes that. It's a natural fucking desire for us to want to outrun death and to do male nesting. But you have to fucking push back against that to take control over your ego and your moral fucking psyche, and know that the best thing you can do with your life is to literally live every day like it's your last and have fun and go fucking travel and everything else like that. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
Also,
I believe in you.
If you buy one of these places, it's more likely some crazy dude's gonna come shoot you and take your silo, like that whole family out in Arkansas. So
I was gonna say one of the funniest things, and I don't know if this applies to you, because you mentioned getting guns, but like if you're doing serious prepping shit, I feel like the most important thing you could do is learn combat, because if it comes down to the point where people are living post-apocalyptic lifestyles, the people with the most shit are gonna be the people with the most guns, because they're just gonna go and steal everybody else's shit.
That's true. That's
yeah,
true. But
that's
at least
important.
It's a good starting point. You get what I'm saying? And I already know how to shoot guns, so I'm not terrible.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, I got some training. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. I mean, hey man, you guys have said some interesting things. I now know about missile
Just looking out
silos.
for you, okay?
There's a lot of stuff. Like here, let me teach you a little bit more.
Oh boy.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's talk about likely outcomes. Okay, this will be like a little bit more fun than the other ranty shit. So, tell me what you know about fish antibiotics.
I know about probiotics. I don't know about antibiotics.
Nah, I'm talking about fish antibiotics. That's right. You, when shit hits the fan, are not going to be able to go to the hospital if you get a fucking scratch on your leg that becomes infected. Did you know that? You're not going to be able to go to the hospital because if you don't go there, you're going to risk catching like fucking COVID 2024 or whatever it is at that point. Okay? You're not going to be able to go there. So you need to be able to treat yourself. Do you have the fish antibiotics or not?
No, I don't got those.
So I'm just sorry, Steve. You have something to say to me? Fucking say it to my face. All right, don't be fucking typing in chat like I don't see what you're doing. You fucking weasel fuck.
I'm just listening, dude.
I mean, I'm not even mad. This is all good information.
No, it is all good information. And you know what else? This fucking cuck is going to be showing up at my house when everything... yo, Dan, what's up? Yo, can I get some of that freeze-dried strawberries, man? I'm going to tell him to fucking pound sand and fucking send a few rounds through the fucking door and blast him into the fucking next area code. God damn, bro.
But you know, that's got to be such a cool experience. Like hypothetically, right?
No, dude. Do not look forward to that. That's what you're missing, man. It's gonna fucking suck.
Let me just live my fantasy for a little bit.
No, dude, no, because I have to pull you out of it. No internet, no fresh food, no nothing. It's gonna be fucking dog shit. It's gonna be boring every day. You're gonna be playing fucking offline games, wanting to fucking end your life because there's nothing to do. You can't go anywhere. There's no fucking internet. There's no cell phones. You can't go out to restaurants. It's fucking hot because there's no electricity.
I'm sorry that my fantasy is your night. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, 100%. Because it would be your fantasy for like a fucking few days, and then you'd be like, okay, where do they have internet again? I want to go play fucking Rust.
I think you drastically overestimate how much happier modern society makes people.
Then go live in a fucking cabin. You could do that today.
No, because I have people I love, I have family I love, I have people I care about.
Convenient, but you only got.
No, I'm not even trying to say that modern society's trash. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is like the alternative isn't inherently terrible. Okay, I've taken extended periods where 3-4 months where I've been away from all this shit, and I've really been in a place where you have no access to the vast majority. I'm 32.
I feel like you should know better, okay? As someone that grew up without a lot of the cool shit that we have today, okay? We may do with a lot, but it was fucking miserable back then, okay? 4 channels on TV, no remote control.
4 channels? Shut the fuck up. How old are you?
I had 4 channels.
No, yeah, because your parents didn't have cable.
Well, yeah, because cable wasn't in my fucking town at the point, bro.
Wait, when was cable TV invented?
I didn't have it in the town where I was at the time.
Cable TV was rolled out in the 40s and 50s. How old are you again?
Okay, you think I'm capping, but I'm not. It had fucking 4 channels on TV. Like, I don't know what to fucking say about this. It was the 80s. All right.
I'm sorry.
Listen, do not evangelize this. Okay? That's what you're doing right now, and you're setting a bad example for all these fucking Zoomers that are listening to us, thinking that what you're saying is based, and it is not based.
But hold up. Do you not believe that for people being aware? So there's like civilization shit is better for them?
No, because it's just fear. In most cases, there's nothing that they can do. I do agree with being prepared for a year to live off the grid, and people can do that for cheap.
Wait, hold up. Why is it inherently fear? Why can't that excitement be in any way type of...
I'll give you the... Well, okay, first of all, the year is a good date to do. And the reasoning why behind that is that if the government and your country and everything else hasn't fixed whatever's fucking going on, that you can't leave your house in a year and be secure, shit's fucked. Okay, shit is omega fucked, right? This is like a Jericho type situation where it's not gonna, like, no amount of prepping would have gotten here.
Okay, so again, why is it fear-based? Why are you saying, like, inherently, if all this shit went away, life would be miserable?
Because it would, dude. It would fucking suck. Like, there's a lot
That's not an answer. Give me specifics.
The comforts of your life. So I have kids, so now they're not going to be in school. And I'm lazy, so I'm not going to teach them shit. So they're just going to be stupid. Okay, so there's that. There's not going to be any air conditioning, because I'm not going to have enough solar to power that. I don't have any solar currently. All the food that I got is pretty much... I have to eat dry food for the next year. Okay, or freeze-dried food. So no more going out to restaurants or any of that type of stuff. No internet. Okay, so I don't know about your life, but typically I wake up, take a shower, have a nice breakfast, and then I go use the computer for the day. Now that's going to be gone. Instead, my day is going to be sitting at my desk, looking at a screen that has notepad files on it, and typing to a non-existent DGG chat, and role-playing like someone was there.
You could just touch grass.
I've touched grass. I've done things like that. As I said, I grew up a long time without the internet. I grew up doing shit like going out and fucking playing outside and going to your friend's house and all that type of shit.
That shit was fire. That shit was fire.
That was fire when you were fucking 8. That is not fire when you're 32, bro. I'm not going out there and making fucking tree houses and shit.
That's cap. I don't believe that at all. I think it's still fire today.
No, it's and especially it's not fire in fucking Florida. Okay, it would be different if I lived in a different place, but I don't.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be in Florida. I would definitely be in a place that gets 4 seasons, something enjoyable.
I feel like you have to control yourself and not let this control you. Okay, that's it. You're lost. You're lost.
Damn.
I honestly, I genuinely believe this. If I didn't have internet from tomorrow onward, or if I lived in a society with no internet, my life would be better 150%.
Then do it today.
No, it's not possible.
I mean, it is possible. You could just stop.
How?
Just log off.
Most of the services nowadays are linked to the internet.
Yeah, use it for like essentials, and then just don't do YouTube, Instagram, any of that shit.
I
Go
think
outside all day, jump around some backyards.
You know why you're not gonna do it? Because you know you're full of shit right now. That's why. Because you could do it and you choose not to. It's okay. I'm with you. I could choose to it and I don't either.
It's equivalent of people saying like, all right, just leave the government behind. Kind of free state.
No, that's not equivalent. You can unplug. There's plenty of people that fucking do it. I'm buying a house right now from a guy that doesn't even have a cell phone. He has an old house phone, no fucking cable TV, no internet. My fucking agent had to go over there and get him to manually sign. Okay, people can live like this. You choose not to.
Ooh.
I choose not to partially, but it's not that I choose not to. I've tethered myself so deeply into it that without it being severed for me, it would be extremely difficult to walk away. But I have hold up. Let me explain. I have responsibilities to people that I can't just walk away from. I have family members that I can't just walk away from. You're asking me to just walk away as if it's an option. Bruv, I got people who financially depend on me to continue to provide for them. So unless something happened where this was no longer a possibility, I can't just walk away. I can't just walk. That's not a real. That's like saying, oh, you can just walk away from your family. If you don't like being a parent, you just walk away. Technically, you can if you're a terrible fucking person.
Yeah, but see, the difference is I would never say my life would be 150% better if I walked away from my wife. You just said that your life would be better if you didn't have the internet.
No. That's not what I said.
I think you said life was better.
Let me rephrase. Let me say it. I said life would be better if it wasn't there. I did not say life would be better if I walked away. Those two things are very drastically different. You could certainly make the case that if one of your parents died or somebody like a huge dependent died, your life would be better. But it would not be better if you walked away because you have to live with that. You understand the difference?
Wait, just a real quick side. Would your life be better if all the ones killed themselves? Important question.
The ones?
Okay, never mind. Keep going.
The ones out of 10?
Oh, hold on. I think Steve probably stole that from someone in chat. Let me see if I can look
yeah,
up.
I scrolled, but like you didn't. That was my original joke.
Oh my god, that's why it was so fucking bad.
You're so mad. You're capping hard. So this is Kizzy. This is crazy
Abba,
Kizzy right now.
Did you know, there's a clip, I can send it to you. So when Steven was on this podcast that he did with Fresh and Fit, there was a moment and he made a really funny joke. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it in this conversation here.
Refuse to.
She refuses to. So what's...
Okay, no, Destiny.
Yeah.
How would she be different from her?
I don't know either.
I can listen.
You really think that there's really that much of a
But why does it
personality?
matter?
No, go
But
ahead.
why would it matter?
No,
It
go ahead,
does
listen.
matter a
No,
lot.
I want to hear
actually.
how you're different from her. Tell me.
What? Well, the biggest difference is one of them would get really mad about my stance on the N-word, and the other one probably wouldn't care that much. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. That was sorry. No.
I don't even know if that was
Way
The,
stupid.
sorry, that was Andrew. Sorry. Okay.
That was
There are
Listen, it's not my fault they don't have a sense of humor. It was a good joke, okay?
Okay. Okay, you're going to see a little notification there.
They were capping hard, okay, on this podcast.
Do you see it? You can just click this this room that you're in. There's a little chat bubble if you hover over it. You see that?
What you've been sending these messages at, Dan?
What?
What
I
you
have no idea where you put it.
I don't know. We put in
Okay.
I see it. Yes, you want me to click on that?
Click on that video. And just, we'll give you 30 seconds of silence to watch this. Go ahead.
You seem pretty jealous, Dan. You okay?
Oh, are you trying to talk over so he can't hear it clearly? I understand.
Or you can just mute the shit
Oh,
if he wants to
yeah.
listen to it.
I'll just deafen
Yeah,
myself.
Go.
Go ahead.
Yeah, do that. Get out of here.
Hold on. Let me put this on Imager so everyone else can appreciate it too.
Oh, yeah. Are you okay, Dan? You seem a little bothered today. You seem
I don't know. It
seem a little-
seems like
you seem a little zesty.
It seems, first off, you know what that is, and you just said it anyways.
Wait,
Why would you do that?
what's wrong with that?
You said yourself yesterday that zesty was a homophobic comment.
Okay,
But
well,
you
if
claim
other
to
people,
do it?
but I am homo, so I can say it, dumbass.
First off, I don't. Okay, here's
Yeah.
here's Yeah,
It
you
was a
saw
good
that?
joke. It was a good joke.
No, it
Not my
wasn't.
fault they don't have a sense of
You
humor.
know why that shit was funny? Half of that shit was funny because of the reaction.
Of course, it was all funny like that.
Oh, listen, man, they just weren't ready for it.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I'm the type of person, like, when I'm doing stand-up and I go to open mics and I watch motherfuckers bomb, I'm dying in the background. There's nothing better than when someone delivers a punchline they think is gonna go well and there's an awkward silence that meets that shit. That is my favorite, most visceral moment. That shit's amazing.
Just
Glad I could
imagine
make
how
you feel good
Steve
about yourself,
felt
yeah.
in that moment too. That fucking 1 to 2 seconds of panic in his heart, and he's like, "Oh shit, okay."
Dan, I think
Let's move this along.
you're projecting your misspeak experience onto everyone else right now.
No, because I do it so often, it's completely numb to me. Okay,
yeah.
so when you have a moment like this, and there's fucking 20 girls looking at you as you make the N-word
you're saying
joke,
it's not numb to me
what the
because
fuck were
I'm
you thinking?
normally so fucking hilarious that I just never bomb jokes. Thank you, Dan. True. Thanks.
I also say this. The joke was good.
True.
And so here's
Thank
the thing.
you.
You have to separate.
You're such a
Thank
simp.
you.
Come
It
on.
was a good joke.
No,
Bro,
no,
you can
no.
come
But it was
on your
the
stream
wrong
without
crowd.
sucking his
It was the
dick.
wrong
Jesus
crowd. It was the
Christ.
wrong crowd. But it was a good joke.
As his black lawyer, I have to say this, and I have to be very explicit. There's a giant difference between something being funny and then someone laughing at what you said. That was more.
True.
And so what I'm trying to say is you can do a great joke and a lot of people can be outraged. They can feel some type of way. It doesn't take away from the fact that the joke is funny. And then one audience's reaction to a joke does not make it funny or not funny. The same way comedians go up on stage, you can watch Bill Burr. He'll go in front of one crowd and bomb for 20 minutes. And then he'll do the same set in front of a different crowd and they'll be cackling the entire time. That doesn't define what is or isn't funny.
Damn. I got so much more confidence in this. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, it was a good joke.
Thank you.
If I'm like, listen, this is my job too, but if I'm looking at how he actually set it up, Destiny sucks at delivery. That's just the truth. But
No, I think it was
the
the,
actual joke itself was good.
I think it was the audience on that one.
I think
I'll give
somebody
it
else
half
would
a-
have done that joke. If Tate would have done that joke, they would.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, they would have laughed.
Maybe.
That was a good joke.
Yeah, because
I'll
they're
give you
simps for Tate, you know? It's a different type of...
that. Yeah. That's funny. What's the difference between you having your white wife or this black? Well, one of them is going to be bothered by my stance on the N-word. That's a good joke.
This is a good joke. Thank you.
That's a good joke.
On the fly joke, too, Dan. Have some respect.
Yeah. I got to give it to him. But anyways, what were we talking about before this?
You mean back in reality? I think we were talking about fish antibiotics.
Yo, you know what? This is what I'm going to do, Destiny.
Yeah, what are you
I'm
going
going
to
to take that joke and I'll do it at an open mic and report the reaction. I'll show you.
Thanks. Sounds good.
I feel like you saying it might have a little bit different connotation, but you know what? I'll give it to you. Give it a shot. Why not?
I think it's even better if a white dude says it because of how taboo it is. That literally is what makes it funnier.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of ha-has that I saw right there, but, you know.
What you mean?
I think Chad thought the joke was funny. I think the only ha-has were from the girls. They just didn't have a good sense of humor, you know?
Nah, because most of these bitches is lame. Dan, you spent like 20 minutes talking about how fucking weird these people are, and then you use them as a barometer for what is or isn't funny. Like, what? What are you talking about, bro?
Wait, were you talking to me or Dan?
Yeah, Dan came in and he was like, these women on this podcast
Part
are so
of
bizarre.
being a good interlocutor is being able to...
Wait. Being
Shut up! Shut up!
I'm sorry.
Shut the fuck up!
Being a good interlocutor. Okay, go ahead.
You know what? Never mind. Part of,
No.
part of talking good is realizing who's around you and be able to talk in the same tone they are. All right? That's the smart... That's talking smart. All right?
That's good if you're working in a corporate. That has nothing to do with being.
Well, he's around a bunch of
Dan.
fucking...
No, it has nothing to do with being funny. Being funny is a completely different thing. Now, sure, it varies from some crowd to some degree, but being able to cut through the taboo is one of the best ways to be funny.
Listen, if he's around a bunch of fucking dumb women, okay, you have to make jokes that they're gonna get. I don't know what you think is gonna happen if you're doing kind of ninth degree stream jokes. It's not gonna work.
Listen. If you want to make the argument that Destiny's not a good comedian because he can't read the right crowd, that's a different thing than whether or not the joke was funny.
I think that's the same thing. I think you can usually, but okay,
No, because that's the equivalent of saying like a product is bad because it was delivered to the wrong person. It's like, no, it's not because the person didn't need this defibrillator that the defibrillator is bad. It just means they weren't the ones who were supposed to get it. That doesn't have any bearing on the product, just the delivery. Those are two separate things.
Yeah, stop attacking me, Dan. You're shitting on me a lot. I don't know why, Dan. It's making me feel bad.
Yeah, like I do this all the time. Like I'll watch comedians on stage, right? And they'll be not comedians that make me laugh at all. But as I'm watching them, I can understand how they set up their jokes, the kind of like misdirection they were going for, to understand their joke was good. It just wasn't for me, or it's not my kind of humor. I watch most comedy specials and I don't laugh, but I know the difference between a good comedy special and a bad one. What makes either one good or bad isn't like how the crowd received it. Because let me tell you, there's a bunch of Amy Schumer specials on TV right now where the motherfuckers were laughing. Still was dog shit. It had nothing to do with people's reaction.
Yeah, Dan. Maybe you're the problem.
Yeah. And I'll say this for anybody. So, I mean, I'll own my shit. I even did it for Fresh and Fit when they did that one joke about fucking Night Riders. That shit had me rolling, okay? But was it a great joke? No, it wasn't the best joke, but it was all right. People were like, that's not humor. It is. It's just you don't have to love it. I think people sometimes get so caught up in their own reactions to humor or whether or not they laugh at something to determine like the intention of the person or whether or not they're funny. It's like, just because it's not for you, motherfucker, doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
It
Dan
just
has
means
this
it's not
problem
for
a
you.
lot for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Those are separate things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're also talking to somebody like, yeah.
I want to take a step back because I feel like you're starting to like suck your own shit here. When you did this fucking joke live, chat was a fucking giant stream of Sweatstinies and Munka Essing. There was no omega lols or ha-has. Well, there was some ha-has there.
Yeah, because
No
they were
one thought it was
responding to
funny.
the crowd as not saying
Yes. Yes.
anything. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I had most of that crowd on my side for most of the girls and shit were chill with me for the
All right,
entire
whatever
night.
amount
I
of
bombed
fucking
one
copium
joke.
went-
It's
you know,
okay.
I'm
It
just-
happens, Dan. That's part
You
of
guys
life.
are like you're good. The two of you guys together. It's like you're selling enough bullshit. I'm thinking to myself here like, huh. Am I retarded? Oh no. Both of these guys are on fucking omega amounts of copium. Okay, got it. I just had to bring myself back to fucking reality. It wasn't funny. It was a bad joke. Bad timing. Not the right place to do it. Just a whole big
hold up.
list.
Hold up. Let me just break it down because I could talk about this all shit all day. I'm a nerd for jokes. So what makes that joke bad? And for anybody who didn't hear the joke was essentially somebody asked them like they were talking to Destiny. There was a black woman present, and the person who's talking to Destiny, one of the Fresh and Fit guys, says, "Hey, if this black woman was your wife instead of Melina, what would be the difference?" And Destiny replies, "Well, for one, I don't know how she would feel about my stance on the N-word." Okay.
Yes, you can't. That's like so. Like you. Okay, let me give you
Hold
an
up, hold
example
up,
of like
hold up,
another.
hold up.
No, you hold up.
But
No,
wait,
you
wait.
hold up.
Because I'm in the middle of giving.
All right, fine.
context.
Let's go. Go ahead.
Now it's important
Preach.
it's important that when you guys are hearing this, whenever you have to break down a joke to this nth degree, it's not going to sound nearly as natural or as good as it does in the moment. But I wanted to just give it the most uncharitable.
Okay,
The most
because that's-
uncharitable. So now go ahead, Dan.
If
Carry
he
on.
wanted to be like racist in that, you shouldn't be racist and leave it where no one knows what the fuck you're talking about. So he said, what would be different if you had a black woman for a wife? And he was like, well, they'd probably disagree with how much I say the N-word. People are like, wait, what? Wait, do you say it a lot? Like they don't know.
Okay, let me explain.
Versus being
Oh,
like,
God.
if you want to be a little bit racist, but like hopefully get some laughs, you could say, well, I guess we'll have more fried chicken or something. Like maybe you can at least get laughs with something like that and immediately get it. You're just like racist
I'll explain.
there.
Hold on, I'll explain what happens because Dan doesn't understand. Okay, the difference is that different communities have like wild and different boundaries in different ways, and I don't have any buy-in to this community, so I don't know like where their boundaries are. But in the things that I've seen, they've pushed way farther than what I would. And like,
Hold up, I have to stop you because
I'm about to
Chad is
kick you
being-
out of the room. I'm about to kick you out of the room.
Go ahead,
Okay.
go.
Okay, so there are a couple areas. So one is like the insane amounts of homophobia, and the second is the insane amounts of sexism, right? To where they have exploded any boundary that I'd be comfortable on stream. So if you're like, okay, you guys are okay with like making the insanely homophobic comments, and you guys are okay with making the insanely sexist comments, that's fine. So I figure I should probably be able to drop like a racist joke or something. Not even like a hardcore racist joke, but I think that their lines on that, technically, if I go back, they hadn't really made any comments or anything related to that. So that was like an untested area. It would be like, imagine if you go to like a fucking nudist colony or nudist beach and everybody's nude, and you're like, wow, this is crazy, I've never done here before. And then you do that, and then at some point you're like, I'm gonna go behind like a tree and like take a piss or whatever. And then you do that, and everybody's staring at you when you come back, and you're like, what's up? And like, peeing in public is the weirdest fucking thing in the world. And everybody's like looking at you like, oh, well, shit. I assume since we're all naked, like this is probably like a gimme. Like I should be able to pee behind a tree. That was the thought process. So like these guys have pushed the boundaries so extremely these other things. I figure like kind of like a quasi-racist joke is probably not gonna be a big deal. But I think it was. That's not like a boundary that they normally push. That was how the interaction went, I think, yeah.
I think it's also important to understand what makes that joke particularly good is
History with me too, that people don't know. Yeah.
No, it's not even about the history. It has nothing to do with that. What is funny is that generally the whole idea of saying the N-word, even some people do say in private, isn't something that people are very open about because it's so mal-seen.
Sure.
And so when someone says it so flagrantly and so casually, and they're saying it to somebody in that kind of context, it's so unexpected, it almost shocks you to the point that it's funny.
Yeah, that's
Now,
what I mean. Also, because like if you don't have a history with me there, it was kind of like what you were saying earlier. Like they don't actually know. Like, wait, is this guy like racist, or does he actually say the N-word all the time, or like what is it? It's harder to know what the joke is if you have no background of me or my history of me whatsoever, because it just seems kind of like a little bit too shocking. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some people might be able to take it that way, but again, that's just their inability to maybe suss out humor to give you the benefit of the doubt. Generally, I don't go to every conversation and be like, oh, this person probably meant it. They're probably really transphobic or whatever.
Sure.
I give people the benefit of the doubt because I feel like they wouldn't be this flagrant unless they're trying to be funny. Now, if you keep doing it and I start to feel out something weird, then I realize we're no longer talking jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But you also immediately laughed afterwards to cut the tension and make everybody understand it was a joke. So it's not that deep.
Sure.
Is it a good joke? Yes. Is it going to fall with every crowd? No. But it doesn't mean the joke is inherently bad. I think there's a giant difference.
Sure. Obviously.
Yeah. Like misdirection is probably one of the best things because like people are expecting you to answer one specific thing, but you go so left field and something so to you against what's good for you that it makes it fun. So sometimes, like here's an example. I had one girl, this is not exactly perfectly comparable, but it does speak to the misdirection. I had one girl, she told me, she's like, oh, I really like Game of Thrones. She's like, because I like dudes with black dicks. I was like, well, I can make sure you know right now you don't have to worry. Oh, that's awesome. I was like, no, I got a tiny dick. And so I let her know in advance. She started laughing, I laughed, whatever. Because she was expecting me to say, oh, you don't have to worry, I got a big dick. Anyways, it's a throwaway joke. In the moment I just said it, she laughed. But what was funny about that is the unexpected answer. That's what made it funny in that specific moment. So, I don't know. I find too often people look at people's reactions to determine what is a funny joke, and it's just so stupid to me because as a comedian, that's the one thing you know. You should never base whether a joke is funny based off people's reactions.
True. As a fellow comedian, I absolutely get that. Dan just isn't really there yet. You know, he's too busy in his basement prepping in his bunker.
No.
Where all the people there laugh at all of his jokes because if they don't, he's going to withhold the fucking dry food and canned beans from them, you know?
But this also speaks to, like, when people do laugh at your joke. Because you got fans.
Yeah,
right?
they'll laugh
And
no
your
matter what the fuck you say, even if it's a shit fucking joke, yeah.
Right. And so I come in, I'm like, that wasn't funny, but your audience sucks you off regardless. Then it's just like, there's both sides of that.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't look to them when they are being positive, and you should also when being negative, inherently to determine what is or isn't funny.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a rough one. Yeah, especially with people like Dan in here that'll laugh no matter what the fuck I say. It gets like really weird.
Yeah.
Really, these are really just funny ha-has you're doing right now.
That's also like what you ever hear women be like, oh, my friends think I'm funny. It's like, bitch, they'll laugh at you laying a brick. Like, they don't care. Like, they'll laugh at anything. That's why so many ladies be like, I should do comedy. My friends think I'm funny. It's not even just ladies. Dudes do that all the time.
No, I was going to say, hold on.
Dudes do that all the time. Like, oh yeah, my friends think I'm funny.
Well, I was going to say it's worse for the ladies because they probably don't think they're funny because their girlfriends think they're funny. They probably think they're funny because guys will laugh at everything they say because they're trying to get laid. That's probably where that big ego blow up comes from.
I could definitely see Dan finding a woman attractive and then just laughing at every dumb shit she says.
Do you do that, Dan?
You could see me finding someone attractive and laughing at all the dumb shit she does.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm single.
I mean, even if you're not single, one thing that's really weird
Fuck
about
no. Do you know who I am? I am bridge burner fucking supreme. I tell people that I'd fucking cross the street if I looked at them.
But that's because you're dealing with fucking nerd women on Twitch who are like not that attractive. If you were dealing with real baddies,
so to be clear, you think Brittany Simon is very unattractive? Okay, go ahead and clip that. Throw that out there. No, that's fine.
Listen. If you want me to be honest, she's alright. She's cute. It's cool. But
what does that mean? Give a number. Give a number so she knows what you really think. Go ahead.
No, I don't have to do that.
She's all right.
If she wants a number, she can holler at me.
Not great. So that's like an average. That's like a 5.
Listen.
Good to know. Good to know.
If she want to hear it, she can holler at me. I'll tell her to her face. I don't mind. But I'm not going to do it while she's not here. So.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But if you with some real attractive women, yeah, Dan, I could definitely see you simping. I could see you simping. You know, going hee-hee at some jokes that weren't funny. Yeah, I could see that.
You know nothing about me. You're delusional.
Yo, chat, can we get me and Malkova to get on this stream? Is that possible?
You think that's what's gonna do it?
It'd be Gal Gadot.
Oh yeah, Gal Gadot.
Yeah. Well, first off, her jokes would be funny.
Oh yeah, you like tall Israeli women with no boots.
Ooh.
It's about the personality for me. I guess I understand that you're superficial. That's fine.
Oh,
Me,
yeah.
I go for their just who they are in spirit. But I get it for you. That's fine.
Yeah. Does your dick get hard every time you laugh at an unfunny joke?
No. Why would that happen?
I don't know. Sometimes you just feel like
That was a big.
He's like
up right there. It'd have
Pavlovian
to be a-
condition for like every time he's laughing,
funny
there must be
joke.
some girl he's snipping for, basically.
No, because I feel like for some people, like that kind of simpy behavior makes them convinced in their own minds that they're getting.
How are
closer
you
to
calling me a simp? I am the simp unsupreme. Okay, you're the
Listen,
simp, not
Why?
me.
Well, who am I simping for? Go ahead, say it.
All ladies.
All ladies,
Yep.
bro. Have you not seen my channel? It's pretty much misogyny personified.
I don't believe that.
No, you haven't watched enough of my content. If there's one rep I have on YouTube, is like I hate women. You know how
Bro.
Destiny has his like we love women arc.
No,
now?
that's like
I've
the fresh
never
and
started
fit.
that.
You
No.
you are not the fresh and fit.
Fresh and Fit learned from me and then did it like in a way that's not funny. You get me? What we do is just way better. We do like the hating women, like but with a joke on.
I just
top.
want to be clear, I don't condone any of these comments, okay?
Yes, not in private, but in private. Not in public, but in private. Me and Destiny have different kinds of conversations.
What type of conversation?
The kind that if I leaked the DMs, Destiny would 100% feel betrayed by a friend.
Really?
Wow.
For sure. But I would never do that because team misogyny.
True.
So anyways,
Our
all this
mutual
to say-
hatred of women supersedes my individual hatred of black people, so it's all good. We can bond over that. Right?
Yeah. Destiny knows like in the DMs how much I dislike bisexual people, so he holds that over my head.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I hold over his head the fact that he dislikes women.
Okay.
Is that okay, Dan?
But
Yeah, I guess.
cool. Well, listen, Dan, I'm glad we could talk about this. You could start to kind of see how your own behavior permeates. I also noticed like your propensity to neg women is also you just trying to compensate for like how simpy you actually are.
Is that true, Dan?
So-
Do you just nag them like crazy? Because
Listen, this conversation was about me giving you strong advice about how you can change it, and now you're trying to attack me.
It's
in
not
my
even an
house?
attack. It's not even an attack. I really truly believe that when you're being like super hard on these ladies, it's to like try to convince your own like simpy brain that you're not simping for these ladies.
Oh my
But just
god!
like just by how much attention and like need you have to like draw them into these conversations, I 100% believe you're a simp. You're just like
Jesus.
bad at being a simp.
Well, I can't go against this argument that like you're so not a simp. You're a simp. You got me. I can't do anything about that. That is fucking stone cold logic that I will never be able to defeat.
So I'll explain it to you. So it's very easy. You know how in middle school, when people had a crush on a girl, they would like hit her or they would
Yep.
say dumb shit to her. That's
Yep.
you, but
Oh,
you're
that's
just a
me.
grown man.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, I'm gonna have to work on that. So it's like I gotta like hate women, but like not a
it-
lot, just a little bit. I'm at
it's
a
all
10.
good.
I gotta be down to like an 8.
I ain't even mad at you. Listen, I'm just saying this so that the chat can see it, so that next time you're just randomly pulling in and you're trying to bait women into these conversations and going hard at them and doing all this stuff, they know so that you're like, oh, that's what Abba was talking about. Dan is simping, but just bad at it. That's what I want people. It's for the chat. It's not for you. Because I know you're not going to change. Like you're set in your ways. You're married. You know what I mean? You got to get your loving out there somehow. But for the chat, I want them to know what they see when you're doing all this extra.
it does explain a lot of his behavior. He's like really hostile towards like every fucking woman on stream. It's pretty wild.
It's not
It
true.
is, right? Hold up. Bring
Name
Simon.
two women that you like on stream that have been here for the
Let's
last month.
go. Let's go. This is the real incel art.
Yep,
Go ahead,
2.
Dan.
Peach and Jade.
Jade and Peach haven't been on stream in months.
I can't help it. The only people you're bringing on are like insane fucking either Nazis or like cult leaders. That's not my fault.
Oh
No. Destiny doesn't bring it on. Half the time, it's you baiting these women to come on. So
That's
you're
true.
the one invite. You
What do
could have
I
invited
don't
Peach.
know these people.
Go invite Peach then. Who? I
Yeah,
don't
why
even know
haven't you
who that
invited
is.
Peach or Jade on? Why are you like saying like let's get Lav here to argue with Mr. Girl and blah blah blah?
I didn't say that.
Really?
Listen,
Lab was on your stream, and I was like, let's get 2 of these people to destroy each other. Is very clearly
You're
what I
negging
said.
by proxy. You're bringing in other men to do your negging. That's how insane
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Let me also say this. There's this like misconception that only like single desperate loser dudes can be fucking simps. That's not true. Married dudes are sometimes some of the biggest simps because they just fantasize about pussy they can't get access to because they're being faithful.
I'm
So
starting
it's
to get
even worse.
a little bit offended right now at these comments. Okay, you're going a little bit hard over here, Tuna. You need to take a step back, settle down. All right, chill out. I am an honest married man, and I think of no pussy besides the pussy I have. All right,
Hey,
so you
listen.
need to take a step back.
Yo, chat, put a 1 if that sounded simpy as fuck. Let me
we
know if
already-
I'm
we
lying.
already
Can you
did the- we
can
already
you
did the-
farm chat a little bit harder here? Jesus fucking Christ!
I'm just saying. Not in my opinion. I'm not gonna say nothing. Let the chat decide. I think that was simpy as fuck, but the chat can decide.
Okay. All right. Are we good?
I live for no man. I live for myself. Your opinions mean nothing to me.
Of course, we know you live for no man. You live for the women, Dan.
You want to talk about living for women? That's I just I'm in bizarro world. Every woman that it seems like has ever come into our fucking orbit in DGG, Steve has somehow slept with all of them, and I'm the fucking simp. Okay, and there's people that like were here for like a day. I don't even know who the fuck they are, and Steve's like, oh yeah, he had a relationship with that person for fucking 2 weeks. I'm like, what the fuck? That person? When was their time to do it?
Yeah. See that anger that you feel when you realize that the people you were simping with.
All right, that's enough. Just fucking move it along. Christ Almighty.
Hey man, listen, this has been fun. I'm gonna go spend time with my because I'm a simp for her. So I'm gonna go simp for family. You guys have yourselves a wonderful day. It was a pleasure talking with y'all.
Have fun. Be careful, buddy.
Yes, sir. Cheers. Bye, Dan.
Try not to buy any missile silos on the way out, you fucking psycho.